sweetheart. Don't laugh, my sweetheart.
Well, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be ranking all the standard 5 stars from the weakest to the strongest. Because the reason I'm making this now all the time because it seems kind of early to make a tier list, but the more you think of it, the more character they pump out, and the more the meta will be shifting to either newer characters being better than other characters. So I figure right now to talk to them now, and then later in the future, like a few months in the future, like let's say 5 months, we'll come back to this video and see how the 5-star age compared to the newer units. Towards all I said, this video will be divided in the part because like how I do like my videos, and just to be clear, just because I think the unit is weaker than you guys would like to think, these are my opinions and my opinions only. So if you have a problem with that, let me know in the comments what you think and where you place them, because I want to know what you guys think. So with all I said, we can begin right now.
Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens.
So the first one to start on our list is Himeko, who everyone knows is like the weakest of the standard 5 stars, which is kind of unfortunate to say because I really do like the design of Himeko. She's so hot and the design is so awesome, how she just, I love the lore about she, but oh yeah, really did give Himeko the short end of the stick, because realistically, how are you gonna differentiate yourself from the other damage dealers? Because how you have to add something else, and what she adds compared to the others is burning and follow-up attacks. And the follow-up attacks are actually not that bad as I thought it was from the last video I made on Himeko, because it's actually not that hard to get a shield break, and especially if you shield break with your ult, you immediately follow up with a follow-up attack. So that's something, but realistically her damage is kind of lackluster in single target, which is supposed to because she's AoE, but at the same time Himeko isn't really that outshining when you use it in AoE, because it just felt like you can use the other units. And the burning thing, I don't really like how she just focusing on DOT damage, because I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe she'll be better with Kafka, but for now I will have to put Himeko in the A+ tier. Very solid, but it just, the other units are just much better than she, because Himeko just offers the least compared to the other units, and it kind of sucks to say. So let me guys know what you guys think of Himeko. And with all that said, I think we should move on to the next character now. So we're in the realm where the characters are very strong here, and Clara is a very strong character, but compared to the other units, I feel like she's the easy S tier for sure, but compared to the others, this is the best I can give her, because Clara is a very good damage dealer. For one, she has insane AoE with her counter Spark. She can redirect damage to her, and then when Clara gets hit, Spark wreak havoc on them, and pair that with March 7 shield. Clara is a very tanky unit, and you can probably get away without even using a healer, which is very pog in my opinion. But at the same time, a lot of RNG depending on Clara trying to get hit, because Clara is a character that gets most of her damage from her counters because you wanted to get hit, but sometimes RNG isn't really in your favor, because even with your Mark 7 shield that increase the aggro chance, and with your ultimate that also increase your aggro chance. I remember some frustrating times where I needed Clara to get the aggro, but they just aim for a different unit on like Trailblazer, Fire Trailblazer, who can get full on taunt. But otherwise, Clara is a very solid unit. It can be of great she's like one of the better destruction units that you can get, and I know that's ironic even though there's like 4 now, but she is a very strong one. The counter, the parry is amazing, and if you get her, you should never feel upset about her, because she is a very solid character to get to. So with all that said, I say we move on to the next character, shall we?
Swords descend!
Okay, this one's an easy one. Yanqing is an easy S tier, because out of all the damage dealers you can pull for in the standard banner, Yanqing is easily the strongest out of all of them, because one, he is such a free unit to build, because the amount of crit rate you get is insane. And pair that if you manage to get it light cone, that if you miss a crit, your crit rate goes up, and the planner ornament set that also increase your crit rate if you miss a crit. You basically can have over like 300% crit damage with Yanqing. But the only caveat is that you need a shield with him, but that is way worth it, because there's so much shields that you can use. You can use March 7, Fire Trailblazer, Gepard, and So he just needs a shield and he can function. Because if you get hit, he loses the crit rate buff he gets and the buffs he gets in general. But he is such a good unit because he does insane follow attacks, insane single target DPS for being the hunt group. He is just so OP, but he's easily a solid S tier. But as much as I like Yanqing, he looked like a complete buffoon sometimes because this man keeps taking L's in the story. But meh, I think I say enough of him. But otherwise, Yanqing is insane. So if you have him, feel lucky because I think he's either second or third most powerful damage dealer. So be proud of that. So with all I said, we'll move on to the next character right now.
Time to show you.
For Bailu, she's in a very interesting position to say the least because for one, Bailu is very benefiting of the fact that she is benefiting off of circumstances because of the fact that we have a lack of abundant units for now. Because don't get me wrong, Bailu healing is insane. She has the best healing in the game. Healing, not because that's all she has other than that revive she has, which kind of useless because for one, there's no content in the game that really wants to benefit from the revive. Because in the simulated universe, probably in the early game for sure, when you're kind of underpowered, but when you can get up your characters, when you build a Bailu properly, no characters are gonna die if you have a Bailu on your team. It's just a fact. And also we have to see where Bailu will age because all Bailu does is heal and not revive. And if other healers come out with other things, like let's say Luocha is a very good example. Luocha can do all types of stuff. He can trip debuffs, cleanse your character, smart healing, he's very skill point efficient. So if more units come like that, it'll make Bailu kind of obsolete if you can keep getting them. Like let's say if more 4 stars came out. So it can be interesting where Bailu plays, but for now, Bailu will be in S tier for now, but we have to see in the future. I think S is fair because she is so very good if you have she, because even if you have Luocha, if you have Bailu and Luocha, you are not using Natasha because Natasha is considered the worst healer in the game due to circumstance. So yeah, so easy S. So we have to see in the future. I think she will have the biggest impact in the future. She might come down a tier or she might stay a tier, but who knows. I think we should move on to the next unit right now.
We shall never fall!
So here we have the Giga Chad himself, Gepard. And Gepard is one hell of a unit if you manage to pull him. For one, he has one of the best shields in the game, bar none, until Fushan comes out. And basically, if I can sum Gepard up in a few words, he basically cryo Zhongli that you can get from losing 50-50s. Which I think is very valuable by itself, but also I was thinking of putting Gepard higher than S, but I decided just to keep him on S tier, like the king of S tier, because for one, all he is a shield bot that can freeze, which is valuable in its own right because for one, if you have Gepard, you don't really need another healer, so you can just focus on getting another healer like Luocha, so you can have Gepard in one team protecting your team, and then you can have your Luocha, which is very valuable. But the reason I can put them in double S because I did consider putting Gepard in double S, but that's all he does is shielding, and to be honest, that is easily power creepable. Like for the standard 5 stars, I think he'll be the one of the better 5 stars to pull on in the standard banner, but as against all the 5 stars in the game, he's probably gonna have some competition because I thought Fushan would either be on the same level with Gepard, but look like Fushan is gonna be even more crazy than I thought. So woo! But for sure, if you have Gepard, the man can carry your account. I remember all the times I didn't even have to think of the content of the mechanics because Gepard would just shield me from the content. So if you pull Gepard, just know unless they do some kind of nerf to shield, like add some kind of corrosion like Genshiниmpact, Gepard will be such a beast of a unit because he just put the game on easy mode for you, and I think that's very valuable. So S replacement will be the perfect rank. So with all I said, I think we should move on to the next unit.
Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Okay, for this one, it was kind of hard to make a decision on because I didn't know which one to do, to put in first or second, but it was kind of hard, but I decided to put Wealth on number 2 because for one, don't get me wrong, Wealth is one insane unit. This man is a freaking beast of a unit because this man acting like a preservation unit when he pushes back turns, the nihility piece of his kit where he's supposed to be, where he do debuffs, and a man can just do very solid damage. He has had like 3 paths in one, and wealth is just insane. He is just such a desirable unit, like one of the most desirable units, and I was really considering putting wealth in number 1 because that's how good I think wealth is. But wealth is an easy double S tier. He is such a unit. If you pull wealth, you should be glad you pull him because he's like one of the more future-proof characters in my opinion, because wealth won't, it's very hard to power creep wealth because it would have to be like a carbon copy, because wealth is so weird of a unit to be in a agility because the amount of rolls he can fill, damage dealer, preservation unit, agility unit, he has like 3 rolls in one, so that is very valuable, and that's why I really did consider him to be number 1, but he would say number 2, but don't get me wrong, he is insane. I would kill to have this man on my account. So with all that said, I think we should move on to our final one, and I think everyone knows who I'm going to be saying next, so
Guard and defend. Crush them!
okay, by process and elimination, Bronya in double S tier, who I think is the best standard banner unit in Honkai Star Rail, because for one, Bronya just offers way too much. Like, don't get me wrong, wealth is insane, but Bronya just offers way more. She gives you a new turn, boost damage bonus, boost attack, boost your crit damage based on her crit damage, so she just freaking insane. Bronya is just insane to have for most damage dealers because she just so versatile and just very good to have in the account because of the extra turn she gives and all the other stuff I said, because it was really hard, but I do think Bronya is number 1. It was very hard to say, but I think she deserves it, so what I said, I think that's all the character rank, so yay!
Can you let me have some fun this time?
So my final thoughts on all the ranking is, I think I've been fair about the rankings because I would say I'd be biased, but if I was biased, I think I would put so much things in triple S or even S, but I think it was fine. But also I think it was pretty solid in my opinion, but after the end of the day, I want to hear what you guys say, so let me know in the comments what you think about it, but I think it was alright. So with all that said, I think that's all for today's video because I think I'm done. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to edit this video, so with all that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. If you made it far, let me know that you made it far, and I'll heart your comment because I do appreciate your support. Let me know what you do next, and I think final thoughts is, I think this tier list was solid, and for sure let me know what you guys think, because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna kill you, meh, probably might kill you, but still comment anyways because I love that stuff. But anyway, stay safe, love you guys, be safe, and goodbye.